Idly ho, YouTuberinos, we got a real diddly of an episode for you. There, I did my Ned Flanders impression, Angelina. Are you happy now? Yeah.
Flanders sucks.
No, I'm not doing ASMR. That's a bridge too far. Welcome to Play the Hits, everybody.
Do it.
We're
I'll do the ASMR. This is Chris back.
That'll be for the Resident Evil episode.
No, fine.
I'm going to be spreading butter on the microphone this episode. Okay, all right.
Nick,
So
that's not even whispering.
the good ship Talking Time Brothers is gonna keep sailing right along here. So let's pick up where we left off. How you doing tonight, Chris?
I'm just picking my ear into this microphone.
Hey, what are you guys doing? I want to get in on this.
He's walking.
Okay, well, my dog is walking on the back of the couch right now, which shouldn't be physically possible, as considering how morbidly obese he is.
I'm gonna strangle the life out of this dog
It's
in ASMR.
gonna be strangling animals here in the background as a part of our ASMR.
It's just a bunch of jostling into the microphone, and all of a sudden you hear a pop.
If you're not familiar with it, ASMR is animal strangling, mangling. Give me an R. What's the R stand for?
Rehabilitation.
Rehabilitation. Yes.
I thought it was a
There you go.
All right. Anyways, what?
We kill them in order to reform them.
Okay, where'd we leave off? No, Angelina, we're trying to think of how to work dog strangling into an ASMR. Animal strangling. Anyways.
Do you know there's a dog ASMR where it's just like a dog licking like your
Yeah, I'm
stuff?
sure there are sickos who want to listen to dogs lick things. Okay,
Well,
so
I like watching dogs.
we
eat
were
food,
missing
so
a
that-
star in this world, so let's grab this real quick. I figured out
Oh,
where
I
it was.
remember
So.
this world.
Well, it was funny because I did this earlier and I was like, wow, what was so damn hard about this?
That's usually the way it goes. Like, you take a break from a game and you come back and, like, you're instantly good at it. Oh, boy. Oh, that's what it was. These stupid hills.
Those stupid little triangles.
Apparently, like, that dead space between the hills is a... Hey, there's the controller pad. The dead space between the hills is a legitimate hole that you can die in,
Legitimate
apparently.
dead space, yep.
Yeah.
So, what have you been up to as of late, Chris? I don't know
Not a whole
how I'm
lot.
supposed to find this organically. Anyways.
This week was the beginning of Lent, so,
Oh, that's
kind of my
right.
busy season. But that just makes Play the Hits all the more essential to my sanity.
You know, isn't Easter really late this year?
It is, yeah. This usually Lent begins by early to mid-February.
Yeah, what is that based on? I forget, the lunar calendar or something?
Yeah, I'm a priest and I don't know how it works really. I just look up my synod-provided calendar. And, that's how I know.
Something a little anachronistic, I guess, but...
I figure between the office secretaries and the altar guild, someone's gonna catch it.
So, maybe we should do this now. Chris, I just finished 150 hours this week. No, I need that dinosaur.
Nope,
I need that
he doesn't need
dinosaur.
you. Yoshi's like, you're on your fucking own. Oh, there we go.
Your
Damn
servitude
it.
continues.
Yeah, enslaved again. Oh my god.
So, I just finished 150 hours of Dragon Quest XI. Do you want to compare notes?
What kind of gear did you end up with? I mean, I know you made short work of Kalasmos since you were at level 99.
That was embarrassing. That was like 8 or 10 hits and he was gone. And I was like, all right, let's get ready for that second form.
You know, as
Second
much as
form.
they encourage you to explore the world and get all the gear, they really don't finish it with any kind of challenging boss fight, or at least not that I've found. Oh shit.
Well,
Or at least that I have found. Maybe there is like an optional boss that I'm not aware of, but I think Kalasmos was supposed to be the most challenging fight in that game.
I was
and,
really disappointed because, like, considering the optional content in like what 8 and 9.
Yeah, the dragon battles in 8 were some of the most challenging and fun optional bosses I think in the whole series.
Yeah, so like I was expecting a little bit more, but I guess my that would be my subtitle if I were to do a review of Dragon Quest XI. Was I was expecting more.
Oh, really? No, see, I came away overall, like, completely satisfied with it. Like, that was the one and only even remote snag that I had, was that there was no real... Like, they gave you all of this awesome gear in the third act, and really nothing to use it on.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, the game was incredibly endearing, and I loved the characters and the situations, and I really thought that whole kind of almost hidden third act, you know, like, if we were 13 or 14 again, playing through that, you know we would have played through the game fully, like, 2 or 3 times before we figured there was an Act 3, you know?
Well, I don't know, they make it pretty, they kind of goad you into it. Like, you're supposed to...
Okay, World 7, Persimmon Valley. Persimmon, for those younger viewers out there, is a vegetable.
Like, there's the view, you know.
Shut up, Angelina. Sunset Silhouettes.
I just assumed that most of our audience is 10-year-olds.
Angelina's out there spreading the word at the middle school, so...
I'm the only kid that watches your YouTube videos.
I wonder what our subscribers are at. Do you think we're out of the teens yet?
We got another one this week.
Really?
Yeah, we're up to 19.
Well, hot diggity dog. Look at those people who just can't wait for another episode of Nick Chokes. Another episode of Talking Time
Nick
Brothers.
Nick fucking sucks.
I guess we got 20 now.
Whoa.
19.
19? Alright, we're almost in the 20s.
Yeah, hey.
Close, not close.
Yeah, but anyways, I just, I liked how they didn't, you know, deliberately say, and now there's a third act. I thought that was really clever how they did that. Plus, I really admire the fact that in every single timeline, Jasper dies. Yeah, you're right.
He's like the groundskeeper Willie.
Everything turns out well for everybody in the end, except poor Jasper.
Except poor groundskeeper Willie. Yeah, that's right.
Oh gosh, I got such a... It was funny because JoJo was in the room, and like we had this ongoing meme of like the Luminary very much knew that Mordegon was controlling King Hendrik, but he didn't want to say anything because he liked having the leverage over him.
Yeah, right.
It's years and years of keeping his secrets.
For as much as they kind of build Jasper up in the first act, you know, part of me thought that he would actually reveal himself to be the big bad.
That was the logical conclusion.
Yeah, and you know that scene at the Yggdrasil, the first one, that really spoiler alert, by the way, for all you watching at home. That was kind of where I thought that Jasper was going to take over as the main villain, but no, he's just a chump. And then and so then you get a big dramatic battle with him in the second world, where Hendrik kind of makes his peace with him. And then in the third act, he just fucking goes down so that the king doesn't blow his cover. Mordegon's just like, no, shut the fuck up.
And the Luminary, of course, is like, I'm not going to say anything. Nobody needs to know. Do they, Morty? Also,
despite the fact that Mordegon apparently has like that split personality or whatever, he never really gets a satisfying conclusion either. I mean, he's a great final boss for the second act. But in the third act, it's just like, there's no redeeming him. Let's just fucking kill him.
Right.
Despite the fact that the Luminary knows that there's good in him or whatever, they don't Darth Vader it at all.
No, it's just you are in our way. But I
you
also
are in our way. That's a good way of putting it.
I also enjoyed how, like, after all that work to patch things up with Hendrik, you know, eventually in the second act, he's just like, I apologize for what I have done. Are we cool now?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Dude, that was the other thing. Like, if there's like kind of a story beat that didn't quite gel with me, it's Hendrik. Like for the second act, anyways. In the third act, I was already over it. But the second act of the game, I'm like, no, dude, I'm not just gonna fucking forgive you. Like, you were a dick. And then I started using him in battle. And I'm like, oh, you're quite broken.
Right. Hey, you need someone to soak up all the incoming damage, thus
it's
rendering.
Like you pretty much can't die, huh? Okay. Welcome aboard, Hendrik.
Oh gosh.
It's like that line from the Spider-Man comic where half of New York goes under and Peter Parker sees Brooklyn destroyed and he blames Tony Stark, and then Iron Man comes and goes, "It's okay, it's okay. I've got the money to fix this." And Peter just gives him a big hug. He's like, "Oh, thank God."
Oh goodness.
Comic book Marvel is still where it's at.
It was kind of disappointing how after kind of like all those character arcs are resolved at the second arc, you know, the Luminary just leaves that world to, I guess, I don't know, be destroyed so that he can, you know, feel a little bit better about himself.
Yeah, pretty much. That's kind of where it leaves. I'm not sure how that works. Like, did that second world technically get erased, or are all of his friends still there minus him and Veronica?
I mean, I assume
in that world.
I would assume it completely, it undid everything, so it didn't exist at that point.
Yeah, that's kind of how I like to think of it. So there's not just like this depressing alternate reality where the Luminary just completely disappeared after the final battle and, left Veronica dead. That's kind of how the third act plays it. And I thought it was kind of unique how they did that in Act 3 too, where they take you back and your party is actually substantially weaker than you are for a little bit, and like for a second there, I almost got kind of upset because I was like, "Oh shit, am I really gonna have to grind them all again?" And but no, they fixed that.
Now, where's
quite
that
quickly.
second star? Yeah, it was a little jarring, but I liked it. I will have to say,
it kind of gave you a really cool sense of progression too, to see how far you would come.
Yeah, whereas the third chapter was just kind of like, here's a bunch of gear that's like okay, but you're kind of over leveled, so whatever.
Right. So that reminds me. Did you actually go through all of the trials multiple times to unlock everyone's like secret armor and get the weapon recipes and all that good stuff?
I was surprised. The final Sentinel overweening power was much more difficult than Calamnus by a long shot.
Yeah, like I said, Calasmus as the quote-unquote secret boss. Yeah, that was like the one thing where I was like, man, maybe like it should be sort of like a Sephiroth scenario, as much as I hate to compare anything to Sephiroth, where like you get to level 99 and you just unlock a harder version of him to fight.
I would have almost taken that.
Yeah. I mean, that at least makes sense. And I know Dragon Quest is the last series that would ever be caught dead doing DLC. But at the same time, like I would not mind like a optional boss like Super Pack or something like that, As much as that game encourages you to explore and craft and collect things, I would really love a boss that really kind of tests your mettle once you have everyone's ultimate gear.
Yeah, I really just kind of felt like the game was just too much of a hurry up and wait. I kept waiting for all this, cool, difficult endgame content that, I was really going to be challenged to complete, and it just never really kind of got there. I felt like I was doing all this grinding and preparing for something that never actually happened. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it's FF12 syndrome. Though even the international version kind of fixes that a little bit, but not too greatly.
For the record, I mean, I know I dump on 12 a lot, but I really enjoyed what they did with the re-release.
Zodiac Age?
Yeah, that was really good. I enjoyed that.
Zodiac Age is my gold standard for how to do a re-release of a game.
And now the Switch is getting
there's a lot of like HD packs out there for PS2 games, basically, because it's fashionable to do and easy money right now.
Right.
But very few of them really go the extra mile the way that Square did with Zodiac Age. And so, yeah, that's kind of a whole different monster. With Dragon Quest XI, I actually found the endgame to be super satisfying, but more for the plot beats, and that was kind of like the creating your own perfect world. Sort of thing. It's basically like wish fulfillment for a cast of characters that you've grown really attached to for 100 hours.
Surprisingly, that was maybe my second biggest gripe with the third act, believe it or not, because I really liked the kind of whole imperfect, having to kind of live with an imperfect world, like making the best of a bad situation in Act 2. Like, yeah, I mean, we couldn't save the world, but we were able to redeem it. 3 was just kind of like, it was too much for me. It was like you said, wish fulfillment,
Yeah, but I was down with that, because like I said, I was already invested enough in the characters that for the one thing, it was kind of cool to go back and see sort of some of the subtle differences. Like I thought, particularly revisiting Sylvando's father was extremely worthwhile, because you got a little bit more banter and backstory with him and Hendrik.
Really? Because I thought they just replayed the same exact
the first scene was like verbatim like what happened. Like Sylvando met his dad. His dad turned out to be a surprisingly cool guy. But then like the extra bits with Hendrik and kind of like teaching them both to be better knights by learning to cooperate with each other, despite the fact that they're like the two most polar opposite people you could imagine. I thought that was pretty well done. Eric's story was pretty much a throwaway in the third act because it was exactly
he had a story
what
in the
happened.
third act.
Yeah, exactly. It was just
No.
go and pick up his sister.
I
Basically.
hated that. I think what music is this? I think this is Castle. No, this is Mega Man. Yeah, I got to upload those episodes so you can finally hear the music.
Yeah, so I can actually hear the damn soundtrack and post these.
Eric's quest actually irritated the hell out of me because, you know, in the second act, they, you know, learned this valuable lesson about money not being everything, and his sister is saved in a really appropriate way.
Oh, money is totally everything, and someone will come and bail you out. Don't worry.
Right. And then he's like, "Okay, Luminary,
like
can't you cure my sister?" Sure.
Yeah, his sister has the potential to be like the world's most dangerous criminal now because you've just given her a get out of jail free card.
Right, didn't have to learn any lesson.
She didn't have to learn shit. But no, like I said, I mean, there's sort of a suspension of disbelief there where like somehow, you know, it all works out the same in the end. But again, like for what they did with it, I thought that was really cool. It was basically an excuse to spend another 20 hours in a world that I really loved, doing quests, getting gear, and spending more time with these characters. And I was more than down for that.
Yeah, you know.
And then there was the ultimate reward for me, which was the true ending. The one that just marries it to the entire Dragon Quest series, which up until this point, I don't know how much you know about like early Dragon Quest, but
having only played 9 and 11, I felt like, okay, well, this is clearly meant for someone else other than me. I mean, it was nice, but it was a bunch of nods to games I hadn't played.
Right. So on the other hand, I completely cherished it. So basically, the way Dragon Quest functioned is that on the NES, 1 through 3 were all considered to be a trilogy. So
I did not know.
Even though the characters were different, it actually shared a common world, and I mean that was probably like the closest to actual continuity that there is in the Dragon Quest series. There's always the hero Erdrick, and you're basically like playing through different parts of his timeline, and yeah, that was pretty awesome. And so then 4, 5, and 6 came out. And they were also a trilogy too, but they were more of a trilogy in kind of the Final Fantasy sort of way.
Like a spiritual successor? Yes.
So there's the common theme, like whereas all the early FF games have the crystals kind of linking them together. This one had a
Cosmic Dragon?
No, it was a city in the sky called Zenithia. And you visit that in all 3 of those games, 4, 5, and 6. And yeah, you basically learn a little bit more about its history and everything. So it doesn't actually have a common world, but it has kind of like a common heaven, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like that game's version of heaven, basically. And so that was really neat because it kind of delved more into the spiritual elements of that and things of that nature. And then 7 through 10 were all just completely unique universes. Like they didn't share common elements. So 7 was different from 8, 8 was different from 9, and 10 was whatever the hell 10 was.
Wasn't that an MMO?
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. I'm still kind of butthurt about it. And then 11 came along, and it's like, oh, okay. So they are also creating like another completely different universe. But it turns out at the very end, what they're doing is they're going back and they're saying that this is actually the universe origin of the NES trilogy, which is really fucking cool. As far as I'm concerned. I mean, yeah, the story would have been completely serviceable and, you know, 100% awesome without it. But at the same time, it was just enough of like an Easter egg / love letter to the series that I just geeked out over it. Like the ending of that game being the very first moments of the third game, which is the Erdrick origin story, that was just so freaking cool to me. I
figured they were all kind of vaguely connected in some way like that.
Yeah.
I did appreciate the showcase of Dragon Quest 1 through 10 at the end, though. That was
beautiful.
Even for a plebe like me, who's uninitiated, yeah, I at least grasped that much.
It still kind of gave you the feels, because, you know, this is basically 30 years of JRPG history. I mean, Dragon Quest in Japan is absolutely synonymous with RPGs. You can't divorce the two. And so even if it means slightly less in America, there's still a fan base there that really appreciates it and, you know, just can kind of marvel with the fact that Dragon Quest is 30 years old and in its 11th entry and is still going strong and kind of sticking to the traditions that made it a fun series in the first place. Uh-oh.
There we go.
Oh, wait. No, there you go. For a second there, I thought you were wrong. I was like, oh, shit. Good save.
All right.
Your old pal Phil, blah, blah, blah.
Phil the board, something, something puns. So, anywho, yeah, Dragon Quest XI, thoroughly enjoyed it. Kind of lost a little bit of stamina there toward... God damn it, Nick.
Toward the third act, yeah. That's every Dragon Quest game, though. I mean, they like, even when they're shorter entries, they're still pretty long, except the NES ones. But, you know, for the NES, those were pretty robust. Yeah, like, I kind of... The thing about 11, though, is that the entry that I had played right before that was Dragon Quest VII, which is absolutely the longest game in the series and possibly the longest JRPG in existence.
Where does that clock in?
I'm not sure.
Above or below Xenogears?
Oh, dear God. Well, Xenogears is positively dwarfish compared to 7 and 11.
Oh, Lord.
In Dragon Quest, yeah. And don't get me wrong, Xenogears is a long game, but... like, Dragon Quest 7, doing the optional content, getting, like, the endgame gear, fighting and killing God, by the time all that was done, I had clocked in, like, almost 200 hours. And I love Dragon Quest VII. I really do. It's a wonderful game.
Why did you not jump?
But it's exactly what you were describing. I was actually fatigued. And, like, there were other games on the docket that I wanted to play. But at the same time, like, I felt like, man, I've put 178 hours into this game. Just 2 more and I'll see it through. And then 2 more became 12 more. I'm like, good God. And, yeah, I'm thinking, like, in 12 hours... I could literally make it like 3/4 of the way through FF6.
Right,
and,
yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, that's like a whole game of me just going through this one damn dungeon to get this one damn sword.
Oh,
and
geez.
Yeah. And again, so I completely sympathize with what you mean. But by the time I got 11, and 11 just had a way more engaging cast and story than 7 did for me. So it was kind of a double improvement. One, it was extremely long, but it wasn't like, for me, fatigue long. And the story and characters helped keep me engaged.
I mean, I don't know if fatigue is necessarily the word I want to use. It's just I could keep going. Honestly, I feel like I could have enjoyed 11 more if it were like maybe just a visual novel. Because the fighting never really kind of, like I said, it never really crescendoed into, like I was familiar with the endgame bosses with, you know, like fighting God and whatnot, and 7 and 8. I was really expecting something the whole time, and there's really never even, like, any overpowered monsters to kill me. I think I died once my entire time playing through that game.
Yeah.
So,
dude, you really should, you're gonna hate me for this, but you really should give 8 a try.
I might, but I feel like 11 is my long JRPG of the year. I still got to get through 15, Final Fantasy, that is. But,
oh, that'll take you a week.
But anyways, no, the whole point of that was, I just, like I said, the third act, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed all the characters, but I just didn't like how everything worked out. I mean, I really kind of like the Witcher school of fantasy storytelling of, you know, nothing is perfect, but, you know, we make the best of it. One was...
Yeah, I can see that, but I think there's room for both. I think Dragon Quest, if it were to tell a story like that, wouldn't really feel like Dragon Quest.
And see, I could have just flown up here. Having never played more than, like, one Dragon Quest before that, I figured I was probably missing something like, oh, okay, well, you know, it's not going to end this way, but... yeah, like I said, I don't know. I had hoped for one thing, got another, but again, it was still such a fun experience. It didn't damper it in any way.
Yeah.
It just kind of like
Dragon
yeah.
Quest never really flirts with like a darker series entry. In fact,
which is weird because that's the whole second act. I mean,
I was gonna say, I was really kind of thrown off.
Yeah, it was it was like
because that was so unlike Dragon Quest.
It was just straight up Final Fantasy VI, and maybe that's why I enjoyed that so much. It was like if all of a sudden, like they defeat Kefka in his tower. Because I didn't want it. I already got 99
yeah,
lives.
I guess you do have 99, so...
What am I, Donald Trump? I have enough lives. Let someone else have it. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, it was like if, like, you defeat Kefka in Final Fantasy VI, and then, like, Strago's like, I just discovered time magic, Locke. We can go back and save your girlfriend and stop the Emperor.
Why is your Strago just Hugo Farnsworth?
I'm trying to think of an old man voice on the fly. That's as close as I've got.
Well,
this is what we have to work with tonight.
Oh, God.
We can make it so that no one ever suffered, ever.
Good news, everyone!
It's just old Rex.
Yeah.
Good news, everyone! Borp borp!
It turns out Kefka was an imbecile. He completely left this time gate open for him. By moving the Earth around Kefka during the moment he aligns the three statues, we can keep their alignment together in an alternate dimension. That's brilliant, Strago.
In Realm, we'll go back in time and make sure that Emperor Geshtal doesn't flunk out of art school.
Wait, won't that stop Terra from ever joining us? Oh my, yes.
That's why we're going to have Locke here sneak into the Esper world.
And bang her mother.
This kind of writes itself.
Yeah, so Locke is now Terra's dad. Which is why he never makes a move on her.
Geshtal just ends up being one of the world's best painters of all time. Oh, wait, no, this is just a straight-up Hitler analogy. Never mind.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
What are you doing to my dog?
I'm doing nothing.
Oh, God, what is she doing to your dog?
Oh, she's just Emperor Palpatined him with this blanket, and he's not moving, which makes me worried.
He's fine.
Borp, borp, unlimited power, borp, borp.
I can't breathe, but I'm too lazy to do anything about it, so I guess this is the end. Borp, borp, Big Brother's dying, borp, borp.
I mean, he's...
Oh, he's had a good 2 or 3 years, yeah.
Borp, borp, if only you knew the power of the dark side, borp, borp.
Borp, borp, you know, Rex, there's many kinds of... Wait, Mansionvania, did I read that right?
Yes, you did.
There's
borp,
many...
Borp, I am the Senate.
There are many dog toys that some would consider unorthodox.
Palpatine's lines suddenly become hilarious when they're being read by a dog.
It's gonna be one of those ghost houses, huh?
Borp, borp, kill him. Do it.
There we go.
Ah, there you go. Well, I would never have figured that out.
Hey, stop it.
Hello. What the shit?
Hey, come here. Come here. Alright. So, if this is a ghost house, I'm guessing the best way to get through it is to cheese it as quickly as possible.
That's usually the way ghost houses work.
Block certainly had some use that I just neglected.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's some. That's probably the secret star that you just overlooked. Let's just get through it.
Oh, there we go.
Borp, borp. This battle station is fully armed and operational.
I have to be... Oh, okay. Alright, I think I see what I'm supposed to do now. So, correct me if I'm wrong, Disney is releasing Star Wars Episode 9, Avengers, the second one. You know, let's get in there. And then
Brie Larson's sweet ass today.
And then Frozen 2 all in 1 year?
Oh yeah, that's right. Frozen
is Bob Iger dying or something?
Possible. Or Disney's just finally reached peak money. They don't care anymore.
Huh. Yeah, Captain Marvel did come out to... Oh, you know what? Okay, I finally understand why I was so confused about that. Apparently Captain Marvel was a guy at some point, and then they gender swapped him? I okay, I also realized there's a bunch of... Well,
I was gonna say, I think Captain Marvel's actually a title, so it's fully possible that there was a male Captain Marvel at some point.
Yeah, and maybe I could be wrong. I mean, there are a bunch of men's rights advocates who seem to, son of a bitch, not be thrilled about this movie.
Oh, who gives a shit, dude? Like, if nothing else, just fucking enjoy Brie Larson's fine booty. That's all you need to do. I mean, I know I'm being a total sexist misogynist right now, but
is it considered progressive?
The girl's got a great butt. I'm sorry.
Oh goodness.
You'd have to like not be human to not understand that.
Well, maybe if it ends up on cable, I'll check it out and watch it or something.
Oh, don't be such a cynic. Go enjoy some TNA.
Well, I mean, hypothetically, if that were the goal, there's other ways. I mean, besides having to endure yet another Marvel movie.
But it's Brie Larson.
But there's butts. But
Brie Larson, but
like I have to admit, like everyone's like, oh, Brie Larson's politics, and I'm sitting there thinking, are they doing another one of those retro '90s kicks about look how retro this movie is? Didn't we just do that with Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor 3?
Yeah, but those were 80s nostalgia, Nick.
God.
This is 90s nostalgia.
God.
And it's got Brie Larson. Fuck's sake. Do I have to say it again?
Okay, so if I were going to go that route, why would I need Brie Larson when we've got Scarlett Johansson? I mean...
Because it's like apples and oranges. You can enjoy both. They're both fruit. They'll both satisfy your vitamin C deficiency.
Wait a second. Are we thinking about the same thing? Okay. Okay, I have to hit that twice.
Sex with fruit. That's where I'm going with this. Oh dear God. Hey! Nice. I thought you were about to dive into that hole.
The funny thing was I was trying to kill myself, Chris. No, not really.
I was trying to kill myself. Just couldn't take any more of your Brie Larson fanboy.
That's how I actually ended up finding that, what was it? In Mega Man 4, they had that arm upgrade or whatever in the water stage where you had to throw yourself down a pit. Does it sound...
It's like, I just want the game to end.
Well, anyways, no, we had to leave for church. I was like, okay, well, I'll kill myself so I can write down the password. You know, so I threw myself down that pit, and then Mega Man just kept on falling and falling. And my little kid mind was like, oh my god, what's going on? It's getting darker and darker. And then there was that weird hidden item down there. I mean, granted, it had no real purpose, but it was cool to find.
You just reminded me of this one time in our apartment senior year of college. Chris Hudson and I, we were dicking around with Grand Theft Auto 4, just, going on, murder rampages and all that good stuff. And I'm down in the subway, and we're on a moped, and we're playing chicken with the subway train, right?
Right.
So I ram it head on. I mean, we were just expecting Nico to die in some spectacular fashion, but no. Like, the moped gets caught under the train, and Nico's, like, hovering in front of it, and then we exit the map, and we're, like, below the map, and we can, like, see the heavens and the earth, like, arrayed before us, and we're continually falling, so it's getting smaller and smaller. I'm like, holy shit, we just, like, totally broke the game. Let's just see how long he'll fall before the game crashes. But the game doesn't crash. After like 5 minutes of falling, Nico just reappears in the middle of a crowded street.
Ooh.
And like all of this traffic just comes to a dead halt and everyone's looking at it. Exactly how this scenario would play out in real life. And Chris Hudson, beer squirts out of his nose and he goes, ta-da!
Oh gosh.
Oh, it was the freaking funniest, like, game glitch I've ever encountered. Nico just falls into eternity, and then he just gets sent back to Earth, like, right in the middle of a crowded street, and everyone just pauses, because the game does not know how to process what just happened. And Nico just goes, ta-da!
Oh.
That was a good time. That was a good time for everyone involved.
Man, boy, I miss the days when glitches were delightful, amusing little things, as opposed to, like, Anthem breaking your PS4.
Oh, really? Anthem has some game breakers out there?
Anthem is, I guess, gotten to the point... Boy, I knew Anthem was gonna brick, but I didn't think it'd brick my system. Yeah, anyways. Anthem apparently is causing hardware crashes on the PS4 and, I guess, the Xbox One. Yeah, so...
Really?
Not fun
I haven't
times.
really heard anything about it. I mean, I know it's supposed to be kind of underwhelming given how much hype it had. But I hadn't heard anything about like game-breaking glitches or anything.
Yeah, I played it. It was not super offensive.
I'm gonna give it a play after you know, they iron the bugs out, add some more substantial content, and put it on sale on Steam for $20. That'll be my hello.
What am I missing here? Do I
You're
need
missing
that
the star, Nick.
Well, gee. Well.
I'm calling it right here.
Save my butt again. Okay, alright, I got it this time. This one's a bit of a noodle scratcher.
Noodle scratcher.
Shut up.
Giggity.
Honey, what
Hey, homie, I can see your doodle. Shut up, Flanders.
And the world comes full circle. Hey-diddly ho, YouTube Renos.
That was my favorite Flanders line. Hey, homie, I can see your doodle.
Shut up, Flanders.
Shut up, Flanders.
You know, I've always enjoyed the fact that The Simpsons is voiced by, like, 5 people at the end of the day.
5 people, yeah, right.
Yep.
And half of them are Hank Azaria. Oh, man. Homer, the entire last page of this memoir is just Flanders sucks typed over and over again.
Yep, there we go. Boy, the secret star seemed to have been the easy star. Alright.
Oh, that was the secret one, huh?
I think so, because that one seemed a little... This one seems like a bit more like trial and error. Son of a bitch!
I was like flabbergasted for saying, like, how did you know? And then you killed yourself.
What? How
it
are
seems
we...
to me like the hard part is easy and the easy part's hard right now.
Yeah, I said the quiet part out loud and the loud part out... loud part out quietly. Thanks, Krusty.
Loud part quiet did.
My ASMR tonight will be me having a stroke on stream.
Hey, it's me, Krusty the Clown.
Hey, boys and girls, it's me, Krusty the Clown.
Tonight I'm going to suck your blood.
I like how my whisper ASMR Krusty sounded a lot like, gosh, who was that from Metal Gear? Never mind.
Ocelot?
I think so.
That's the closest to Krusty the Clown I can think of in that series.
Well, I'll never get over how weird up Metal Ocelot was in Metal Gear 5.
Oh, yeah, Metal Gear Solid 5, yeah, when he's...
Yeah, completely
kind of like,
drained of all of his personality.
yeah, not quite young Ocelot and not quite old Ocelot either. Yeah, he was just like the most generic fucking dude. Like, who is this guy and why should I care?
But I'm Ocelot. I'm gonna be your best friend, Snake. I don't know.
Right. And they like kind of tried to make him flirt with like, okay, so you're developing an accent, but it's not all the way there yet. So generic white guy, gotcha. What the hell is going on with this place?
Okay, let's see here.
Oh, so you just got to be fast.
Is there? Okay, so I need.
I'm guessing that's the star. Oh, that's not what you want because of the mushroom. Okay, but you can still get it. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Look at you, Nick.
Okay, it's just a Hammer Brothers suit.
Alright, so the secret must be hammer related. You have to bust through some wall.
Hmm.
Hammer time!
Oh, damn.
Oh, well. I guess it's not hammer time.
Hmm.
It was supposed to be hammer.
Let's see here. Oh! Okay. There is a pipe up here.
And apparently you've entered hell.
No, this is the addict. Hell is down, if I understand my celestial geography correctly.
Or is it, Nick? How very one-dimensional of you.
Yes. What else is in the news this week? I guess Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is finally taking pre-orders on physical copies, which means it might come out this decade.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's supposed to actually happen. They got a Nintendo Direct trailer, I believe.
All we had to do was cancel 3 systems that no longer create games in the meantime. Like the Vita, and think the DS, and...
Man, the Vita. Let's talk about the Vita for a second. That was like the biggest waste of
didn't
potential.
Didn't the Vita die this week officially?
Yeah, I really liked the PSP, and I actually thought it had some really good games coming out for it. And then the Vita came out, and it was an improvement hardware-wise in every way, and they just never released anything for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know it was kind of like a haven for indie games, but I don't need to pay $250 for a handheld indie haven.
Wasn't the Vita the system that didn't have physical cartridges? It was all digital?
No, it was
Okay.
that was the PSP Go. That failed horribly. So they went back to the Flash sticks. Actually, they were very similar in size and shape to the Nintendo Switches.
I enjoyed the Flash sticks.
Yeah,
That's just
me too. Yeah, I mean they're not CDs, but they're also not quite cartridges either. So yeah, they work. But yeah, there was some stuff I enjoyed on the Vita, but it was all stuff that I could get on consoles too, and have it look and play slightly better because of the non-handheld controls. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was a lot of fun, but again, it was also released on consoles. Holy shit!
Okay, I
tripping balls right now.
Dropped way too much acid.
Oh my god! What did Mario just smoke? It's me, Mario. Hello. Oh my god! I can see so many sounds.
Didn't the Mario Brothers series kind of explore this territory with the Touch Fuzzy Get Dizzy stages?
Touch Fuzzy Get Dizzy. I forget about
Super Mario
that,
World,
yeah.
Yoshi's Island.
Oh yeah, no, I know, but it's been a while. Holy cow!
Boy.
Yeah, I mean, Mario has always had, kind of subtle drug undertones, what with mushrooms and
all the shrooms you can eat. ICB Mario.
ICB Mario.
What does ICB stand for? Intercontinental Ballistic Mario?
Intercontinental Ballistic, that's exactly right.
Huh, maybe that is the route we're going.
I think that's actually pretty much spot on, unless you've
just
entered a level of Contra.
That's the thing I love about this series. You never know.
Yeah, unlike... traditional Mario, which has, basic rules and principles, you never know what you're gonna get with it. It's no man's land. It's like Guatemala or Ecuador. What was that show?
Which one?
Ecuador, right? Yes, anything goes. I'm making a reference to a show I don't fully remember. Huh. It was just this guy throwing, like, lettuce into a stir fry and saying it's Ecuador, and his friend goes, "Oh, right, because anything goes. It's Ecuador, right?"
So, I'm gonna take a guess. This is probably something from the BBC.
Yes,
it sounds like it.
It was quite hilarious.
You bastard! The leaf is my favorite weapon.
Oh boy, man, they're really throwing the bullet bills at you there.
I will reap a bloody revenge on you and your kin.
And your kin's kin. And your children's children's children.
For 3 months. Alright, let's see here. Alright.
Hello.
Let's kill them all.
Do it. Do it!
I feel like these Koopa Troopas power the ship or something.
You had to kill him. He took your arm.
Oh,
you wanted revenge.
That was a fun little stage.
Yeah.
I don't
know. That only a 1-star, or did that have a secret?
That was a 1-star. That was a yellow pipe.
Uh-huh. Oh, you're right.
Look at that. We're already to the next boss. Not Roy's castle.
So whose castle is it?
Well, it's not Roy's.
It's Nick's now, damn it. Yeah, what the hell? There you go.
Oh.
What the hell were we talking about?
Oh, this is the Not Roy meme. Okay. You're not going to get this if you don't hear the music.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know what the Not Roy meme is. You explain this to me.
It was some guy at one point who just sang a voiceover of the castle music, but about it not being Roy's castle.
I see.
I'm
sure it's more clever than it sounds.
I was gonna say, you'll have to hear. Oh, I make no qualms or promise of its cleverness. Just a tee.
It's just one of those you had to be there sort of things, right?
There you go. Like Principal Skinner in Vietnam. That was funny. I guess you just had to have been there.
That's right. Dude, the Simpsons references are on fire tonight.
I've actually been going back and watching the old Simpsons episodes on FX, and boy, I never realized just how many one-liners I
know. Like part of like my everyday conversational skills that are completely attributed to early Simpsons. Like if there's an awkward silence of any kind, you can bet that I am going to fill it with a Simpsons quote
with
from
a
like
Homer Simpson quote. Yep.
Yeah. And like not even a recent one, not like, it's clear that he still watches The Simpsons. Like no, this is just like where my life apparently had its most meaningful impact.
Well, it's funny because my sister Angelina and I have been watching the old Simpsons episodes, and it's funny because she actually thinks they're very funny, which
Yeah,
is
like,
interesting
it's like
considering her
Seinfeld.
age. Right.
It's an artifact, but it is still funny.
Yeah, Seinfeld is amazing. For as old as it is, it still remains relevant somehow.
Yeah, well, that was kind of the thing about Seinfeld's humor. Is he didn't rely on a lot of. It's kind of interesting, like you said, that he has that stereotype of. It's interesting that he has that stereotype of the what's the deal with whatever, because he really didn't do a lot of topical like humor. He didn't rely on politics or religion or anything like that. I mean, it was observational, but it was like observing the mundaneness of everyday life, and that's what made Seinfeld.
Yeah, I mean that
so
was the
brilliant.
whole point of the TV show, was that
Right.
it was about
There's
nothing.
like some universal principles that mankind will always abide by, and Seinfeld somehow was the clairvoyant who was able to pick up on those and tap into them for comedy.
One of the things I
Whereas,
love.
like, I can crack jokes about Trump until I'm blue in the face, but those are easy pickings. Jerry Seinfeld was so great because he was able to identify like the common core of the human experience and lampoon it.
Yeah, well, I
That was
mean,
great.
Trump jokes are. I mean, those are bottom of the. I don't like the guy either, but I almost hate the people who try to get a cheap laugh off of him even more.
John Legend was just on the Daily Show the other day, and he made a really good point. Like he was saying something about Trump being a bigot and a coward and a fool, and everyone started laughing. And he looks directly at the camera, and he just flat out says, I know this is a comedy show. I'm not trying to be funny right now. Like, this is a real problem. And his point being that, the Trump laughs, they can be like, ooh, shit. The Trump laughs can be kind of cathartic, but they kind of undermine the fact that there's, like, a real and present danger to this man's presidency. And like, by doing nothing about cracking jokes of it, one, we're giving him the attention he so desperately craves, and then two, we're making less of what could potentially be a catastrophic situation than it really is. And I thought that was kind of profound for
right in the tomato juice.
late night Comedy Central. But of course, it's also John Legend. So what do you expect?
Well, who is John Legend?
He's a music artist.
I see.
Go culture yourself, Nick. Come on.
I have to admit I haven't really watched The Daily Show since Jon Stewart left.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I enjoyed Trevor Noah.
I never really liked
Oh.
I never really liked the whole thing of like it seemed like Comedy Central wanted to bring in someone from another country to talk about how goofy our politics were, but then be like also a very serious voice of authority. I just felt like Comedy Central was trying to have it both ways with Trevor Noah, and I just never really I don't know, it never really gelled with him. But maybe it's just because he wasn't Jon Stewart, who had like Jon Stewart would crack jokes about the awfulness of the situations, but he also legitimately really cared about situations, like when he'd get really pissed off about like every time something went wrong with the VA.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like
remember
even to this day, he still goes up to Capitol Hill every time the government forgets to renew health benefits for 9/11 family survivors, and campaign against that. Like, I don't know, I always got this real feeling of sincere love for the subject matter.
Oh
from
yeah,
him.
Jon Stewart's he's a legitimate activist. That's true.
I could never really
And
get past.
That's not to undermine Trevor Noah's aspect in that, but you're right. I mean, it's certainly a different flavor of host, but I don't fault Trevor Noah for that.
No, and it's it's something different. It's just not my cup of tea. I mean, I'm not gonna get online and bitch about it. It's just okay. I don't like it. I don't have to watch
It's like,
it.
man, if only Trevor Noah were white, then Nick would really.
Oh, it's... Wow, I'm just gonna...
Jon Stewart was sure a Jew, but at the very least, his skin color was correct.
I hardly even noticed he was Jewish.
At this point, I'm just like trying to say what I can say that will get us flagged.
That's okay, no one will ever see it.
I don't think YouTube can pick up when I'm being facetious, so there's got to be like some combination of words that I'm not aware of.
Well, one of these
will get
days
us that
when
strike.
I'm governor of North Virginia or West Virginia, someone will see this video and pull it up and throw it in my face, and it'll be my blackface
that's
scandal.
Exactly right. His own best friend admitted that he's an anti-Semite.
And then he asked if he was proud of it, and he said, "Of course." I don't know.
Oh, speaking of which, God, that's kind of hilarious. That what's her name? The freshman congresswoman.
Something Tlaib.
Yeah. And the GOP just having a field day with her for criticizing Israel. Oh, she's an anti-Semite. God, how divorced of context can you be from?
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, that whole thing has been a fluster collect because, I mean, from
her comment was that Israel is committing atrocities in Palestine, and Israel is fucking straight up committing atrocities in Palestine. That's
right,
not anti-Semitism. That's the fucking truth.
She went about it completely the wrong way. You know, talking about it being all about
getting pissed off. I mean, anyway, sorry.
Well,
go on.
yeah,
I'll,
I mean,
I'll let you make
well,
your
right.
Your
It's well, I mean,
my emotional banter.
You can be pissed off all you want, but either you're going to try and do something productive about it, or you're just going to say snide remarks for your own self-masturbatory purposes, which is what she did.
I think that's the best we can do right now.
Saying it,
self-congratulations. Well, yeah, but I mean, it's like when they criticize. Oh god damn, I'm sounding really bad tonight. The other woman for saying impeach the motherfucker in her acceptance speech. I think, you know...
you can't impeach a guy for being an asshole, so I mean,
well,
you
yeah,
know...
but I mean, if we're living in indecent times, why should any of our representatives say anything less than the kind of bullshit that Trump feeds onto the news and turn it completely against him?
Well,
I'm sorry, like, I know I'm arguing 5-year-old logic right now.
So which is it? Are we supposed to rise above it? Are we supposed to go high when they go low, or are we supposed to get in the pig muck in the shit with them? I mean, which is it? Because
that's the thing. You're damned if you do. You're damned if you don't. So get in the so for these people, yeah, get in the fucking shit with them. For those of us living in the real world, parents and citizens, maybe we should try to do a little better, and then eventually elect better people. But I mean, if we're fighting a dirty war, then we might as well have dirty players. I mean, that's the way I see it. And don't get me wrong, that's extremely cynical.
I mean, if you want to keep a self-perpetuating cycle, sure. Like I said, I agree 100% that there's a legitimate conversation to be had about.
Yeah. But for once, I'm the one being more cynical out of the two of us.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. There's a legit.
I don't quite know what to do with myself right now.
Conversation to be had, but like saying that the Jewish lobby is all about the Benjamins. I mean, there's better ways. Well, then again, let's be honest. Didn't Trump at one point post an anti-Semitic meme about Hillary being the most corrupt politician of all time, right next to a Star of David? Yeah, with the
bills and the Star of God.
Right.
Exactly. So, again, I think it's a little rich that this criticism is coming from the goddamn GOP. But,
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, how many people who said Islamophobic things are now criticizing Tlaib for being anti-Semitic? I mean, come on, right?
Yeah, it's not exactly a true equivalent.
It's just one of those things, like, in a week when they were working on passing some fairly important legislation, they just got sidetracked by that whole, situation of, well, can we decry anti-Semitism or not? It's another distraction, right?
It's all distraction politics. It's 100% distraction politics. Like, every bit of the shit that we see on the news isn't actually the stuff that is going to affect the workaday lives of regular Americans. And that's exactly the way they want it, because the only time shit will actually get done, or like the sneaky bullshit that they're doing with healthcare and the environment will get done, is if they can get, you and me arguing with Joe Hicks about fucking Obama's tan suit and Trump calling some congresswoman a darky or something. I mean, that's what they do.
I guess the best way to kind of conclude that conversation is I'm going to take a note from Rick and Morty's playbook, where maybe all the politicians don't care. Maybe they're all just trying to get us to fight one another so they can make off with all the money and cool shit.
Gee, you don't fucking say.
Yeah, right? Maybe they just want us all to fight each other.
Ah, damn it. I'm going to have to change the episode description from comedy to political talk.
So that's been the Young Turks this evening. We hope you've hated the show, and we'll see you next week.
Go fucking play Dragon Quest XI, bitches.
Can I just state how much I love this stage right now?
This is a cool stage. This is just fucking the final temple from Zelda 2, isn't it?
Yeah, which I gotta say, to this day, I have no idea what the right path is through that temple because it's such a maze.
It's kind of like muscle memory for you at this point, yeah. That's kind of how I get through the ice dungeon in Link to the Past.
Oh no, I was referring to the that weird last dungeon in Legend of Zelda 2. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, that's
yeah.
That's
Oh,
what
I thought you were
comparing it to.
referring to this one, but anyways.
Oh yeah, no, that's
Boy,
that's
that
what I'm
was
saying.
so weird. From like that weird Thunderbird boss to Dark Link. Okay,
Yeah, what the hell was that Thunderbird?
I have no idea, but it was really out of place for that game.
It's fucking Quetzalcoatl.
I would assume, yeah. Boy, that Shadow
But-
Link was
but
far
in
more
Legend of
difficult than
Zelda.
it needed to be.
Did you ever learn the cheap way of beating him?
What was that?
Where you just stand in the bottom left corner, duck, and swing your sword until he dies?
Bull crap. Seriously?
Yeah, next time you give that game a playthrough, just get as far into the left corner as you can, turn around, duck, and stab. Why are you fighting fucking Wart?
I don't know, but he's going down
That
quick.
wasn't even a fight. You just fucking came into his house. His house.
No.
Molested him in front of those he holds dear.
See, Mario from Super Mario Bros. 2 just needed a sword.
Yeah, that was. What the fuck is this level? What is happening?
Oh my god, I love this so much.
This has to be where we end the episode after this one because there's
Nothing
equal
is
it.
going to top this. No.
nothing's gonna top it. Good God.
But now you know why I love Talking Time Brothers so much.
Why is Mother Brain here? I mean, not why is she in this zone, but why is this a thing? Why is Link engaging?
Haven't you?
He's stabbing Mother Brain in the goddamn eye.
Isn't this what you always wanted, though, Chris?
You know, having recently played Metroid Zero, well, not recently, about a year playing Metroid Zero Mission with Max, this is exactly stab Mother Brain.
The matchup God never intended.
And yet, the one that we always deserved.
Oh god.
Oh shit! Hey, speaking of which, dude, I had a great idea for a upcoming project for you and me. Because we've one never really discussed it in depth, and two we've never played it yet together. Is Arkham Asylum.
That might be a good idea. Funny enough, I was actually kind of thinking of suggesting we play through, well, the adventure of Link at some point. But yeah, Arkham Asylum would be interesting. Arkham Asylum or
Those could be
Arkham City.
concurrent projects. Like you
Yeah.
could take the lead on Adventures of Link, and I could take the lead on Arkham. I like Arkham City better. I'm
Right.
worried that it could go into the realm of super long, though.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not. I could be wrong. I'll have to look back at my old save
Might
and see
be
how long it actually took me
able
to
to
get
do a
through
little bit of a
'Cause-
highlight episode or something.
Yeah, we wouldn't be doing all of like the Riddler trophies and optional content, but we could make it through the story, I think, fairly
I think so.
quickly. And I actually last Christmas got the full HD remaster of that game as well, like the Return to Arkham collection.
Mhm.
And haven't I did play through Asylum, but haven't played through City yet because I of course got
see.
sidetracked with newer projects. So that would actually be quite worthwhile for me too, is getting to see Arkham City with the shinier, revamped PS4 graphics.
Yeah, I think that would work.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like the next stage is going to be a little bit in depth. So yeah, let's go ahead and just end the episode
Rainbow
on that.
Shell Rampage. I like it.
And I think we're only 4 more stages till the end. Well, then there's the extra levels, which I think are my favorite. But yeah, 4 more till the end of the
Sweet.
first 8 worlds. So
Maybe I'll eventually get to post some of these episodes too.
yeah.
if
I
only.
will get right on getting those uploaded. Hey, it's tax season. Cut me some slack. All right, hey, that's been Play the Hits, folks.
We'll see you next time.